Story time with Catalina. Meet Nick Fury, the commander of the Strategic Homeland Intervention Enforcement and Logistics Division, or you might know them as SHIELD. Fury is a master spy. You see, he knows everything about everyone, and he's the type of man to always have a plan. But Fury had this one agent that kept giving him problems. You see, they started off with the wrong foot many, many years ago. Shield had captured Jared, some bottom of the barrel Hydra agent, and Fury was conducting the interview personally when out of nowhere, this custom lady dropped from the air vents and started whooping some serious butt. She was also a Hydra agent. Don't let the custom fool you. And she was there for two reasons: rescue her comrade and boyfriend Jared. And the other? Well, the other was to kill Nick Fury. Her code name was Arachne, and she believed Fury and Shield were the bad guys here. Remember how I said Nick Fury is the type of man to always have a plan? This is a prime example of that. Arachne is new to the spy game. This was her first field mission ever, but that didn't matter. Fury already knew who she was and he was ready for her. The one thing people don't realize about Nick Fury is that he is a people person. Believe you me, he really saw the best in people, like we Agent Arachne, for example. He believed that if he just managed to get her to listen, he could make her see the truth about her boyfriend, but more so about Hydra. So he got her to sit down for a PowerPoint presentation. Nah, just kidding. That would have been some real army life stuff right there. It was a full blown intelligence brief. At first, she was in denial, like, nah, my Jerry was in Latveria, and that can't be him. Until it was him on that screen, on that footage of a terrorist attack. It was undeniable. Jared was so proud of what he did. He even took off his mask, caught in 4K. Oh, yeah, Jared was drinking the Kool Aid by the gallons. But listen here, this footage managed to do the impossible. Agent Arachne started to deprogram right then and there in real time. Everything she believed about Hydra was a lie. They were not the good guys. Jared was not a good guy. Arachne was fighting for the wrong side. And that could not be any more clear. Fury goes a step further. He shared with Arachne that they knew her identity to be Jessica Drew, the daughter of Jonathan and Miriam Drew. They knew that Jonathan Drew used to work for the British government, but he had a fallout with the Brits because he was a scrub and a whack job. Then General Wyndham, who was a Hydra spy, recruited Jonathan into Hydra and set him up in Wondergore so he could produce something of use for the organization. At the time of this briefing, Shield believed that the Drew family thought they were still working for the British government, which, puts into question their character. Like, these people, the Drews, were they naive or were they just deluded? How do you not know you were working for a terrorist organization? Come on, right? Just keep that in mind for the future. The last bomb Fury dropped on Agent Arachne was the Hydra kept her in a coma for 10 years so they could study her condition with the hopes of replicating the results. Why do you ask? Why not just repeat Jonathan's work? Well, because just like the person who invented penicillin, Jonathan's Bell's results were accidents, just like Jessica. This was a lot to process. Could you imagine your whole life is a lie? Jessica put on her mask and just ran out of there. Who could tell what was in her mind at that very moment? Fury let her go, but orders one of his agents to keep tabs on her. He believed this woman could be an ally, maybe even an asset with some luck. That proved to be a problem. You see, 2 hours later, SHIELD agents lost track of her. 6 months later, they could not figure out where this lady had gone to. No trace, no clues, nothing. That says a lot about the kind of spy Jessica was, that SHIELD, the top spy organization in the world, could not find her. Finally, 2 years later, they have a lead. So Fury goes personally to find her. Jessica was hiding in plain sight. She was attending college, trying to live a normal life. Jessica's first reaction to seeing Nick Fury was, oh man, am I under arrest? But surprisingly, no. Fury was genuinely worried about Jessica. He knew that Hydra made a number on her physically and mentally. But the second reason, and maybe the real reason Fury was checking on her, was that he wanted to recruit her to be a shield agent. She clearly had the skills and he could use her abilities to do a lot of good in the world. You see, I told you Nick Fury was a people person deep down. But Jessica was not having any of it. She just saw another organization trying to take advantage of her, trying to exploit her. She wanted to discover who she was. She wanted to live her life, be something other than a weapon, and maybe, just maybe, honor the memory of her dead parents. Fury was like, and Jessica was like, what? No one said they were dead, Jessica. Excuse me? Fury, bruh. Be freaking for real, okay? Jessica wanted to kill him. And you know what? I don't blame her. Remember how I said Fury was a man with a plan? Yeah? He wasn't just gonna come see a former Hydra spy agent with spider powers without a safety net. But he told everybody to back up. He never really considered Jessica to be a threat. So Fury ended up taking Jessica to the helicarrier for an intel brief on her family. And long story short, her parents went their separate ways, not even bothered to get a divorce. Her dad was still getting paychecks from Hydra, which answered the question whether did or he didn't know that he was working for Hydra. Turned out Jonathan knew he was in fact working for them. Remember I said he was a scrub? Well, since he never managed to produce anything of use for Hydra, she lost track of him because they didn't think he was a person of consequence. Once a scrub, always a scrub, I guess. As for Miriam, she had been putting money on the side behind her husband's back. And when the Wondagore fiasco and her marriage fell apart, she took off. This goes without saying. But ladies, if you're watching, learn from Miriam. Always have a backup plan when you're dating a whack job scientist or a scrub in general. She had been off the radar until a few days ago. All Jessica heard was they knew where her mom was. She was like, bro, spill it. Where is she? A scout? We don't need a scout to find her. It's my mom. I'm going myself. Unfortunately for Fury, after Jessica went to look for her mom, they once again lost track of her. All they found was a crime scene, a dead woman, but no trace of Jessica. But word on the street was that there was a lot of chatter about a project called Athena and a name along with that, a certain Count Otto Vermis. Remember when I said Nick Fury had this agent that kept giving him problems? Yeah, it was Jessica. She was that problematic agent all along. Going now as Spider Woman, Jessica went and single handedly took down an entire Hydra cell. A few days later, Fury found Jessica again and gave her props for what she did. Trust me when I tell you, if this was any other agent, this conversation would have gone completely different. But Fury had a soft spot for Jessica. At this point, he just wanted to let her know that the door was always open for her at S.H.I.E.L.D. She could come back anytime, but Jessica Miriam Drew had other plans in mind.